what is the agenda for today's classes? I'm going to have this class for next 60 minutes. In the next 60 minutes, you will understand introduction to data analysis or introduction to Power BI. You people will get introduction to Power BI. As part of this, in order to understand Power BI, first you need to understand data analysis, guys. Without knowing about data analysis, you're not supposed to start learning Power BI. First, we'll try to learn what is data analysis. Second, we will try to learn, once you learn data analysis, then you are good to go and learn what is Power BI. What is Power BI? Once you learn both, then you learn how to perform data analysis using Power BI, how to perform data analysis using Power BI. These are the three things you will learn in today's class. Let's start. As I said, first we need to start with what is data analysis. Online people, someone tell me what is data analysis. There are different definitions available. What different people will tell about data analysis in different ways. If anybody knows, you tell me what is data analysis. I'll write anyway. Anybody? What is data analysis? Okay,
Data
guys.
analysis is
Let me write.
something,
What is data analysis? Yes, someone is trying.
yeah, and data analysis is something that where we were trying to figure out some insight from a set of data.
Correct. So yes, the same one what you said, I'll frame like this. Correct. Getting the insights from the data. Every company will have some business data. Every company will have some data. From the data, getting the insights. We call it as data analysis. Let me write like this. Data analysis is one process. Data analysis is a process which converts business data, which converts business data, converts business data, company's business data into actionable information. Uh, this is the definition I will provide. I'll explain. Data analysis will convert what? Any company's business data into some actionable information. Nothing but insights. You said right, insights or actionable information, both are same. Okay, let's see that now. We are telling it's a process. Anywhere when we said a process means collection of steps. Process means collection of steps. Let's see what are the multiple steps available in the data analysis. I'll just show you what are the different steps available in the data analysis. You can see there are 5 steps here. We call this 5 steps as data analysis, guys. What are the 5 steps is OLTP is the first step. ETL is the second step. OLAP is the third step. Creating reports is the fourth step. Sharing the reports to the client is the fifth step. These are the 5 steps you have in where? Data analysis. Data analysis is to be more specific, data analysis is a 5-step process. You can even tell it's a 5-step process. What are the 5 steps I shown you there is? First step is OLTP. I'll talk about it, guys. What is this OLTP? What is this ETL? We will talk about it. Second step is ETL. Third step is creating OLAP database. Fourth step is creating the reports. Fifth step is share the reports to the clients. Share reports to clients, right? These are the 5 steps you'll have in the data analysis. Let me show you this 5 steps in the graphical format. So I'll show you data analysis architecture now. I'll just open one image and I go here. You just observe. I'm just opening one image here. Business intelligence architecture or data analysis architecture image. If you look at this image is data analysis architecture. Data analysis also known as business intelligence. Wherever you see business intelligence, wherever you see data analysis, both are same. Both will contain how many steps I said? 5 steps. First step are what? OLTPs. Second step is what? ETL. Third step is what? OLAP database. Fourth step is what? Creating reports or visuals. Fifth step is what? Sharing them with the clients. Okay, so you'll understand these 5 steps. We written here, right? So before we start Power BI, we need to learn these 5 steps, guys. Okay, I'll just explain. Okay, we'll come back and we'll discuss what OLTP means, what ETL is, what OLAP is, all this I'll discuss. But before that, who will use data analysis? Okay, there is something called data analysis, which contains 5 steps. Who will use that 5 steps? Who will use data analysis is each and every company will perform data analysis. Each and every company will perform data analysis, guys. No matter uh, the company is big or small, every company will perform the data analysis. Let me give the justification to this point. Why every company will perform data analysis? Let me give the justification like this. Take when there is any company. Tell me few company names. Few company names is Amazon is one company. Flipkart is one company. Uh, so when you write the company names, I can write lakhs and thousands and lakhs of companies, not one or two. We can write thousands and lakhs of companies. ICICI is one company. In this list, I'll write Analytics Benchmark is one company. This training institute. Like this, if I keep on writing the company names, I can write lot of names, but that's fine. When there is any company, what the company will do is, the company will do some business. Tell me, Amazon is doing what business? Amazon is doing e-commerce business, right? Oh, Amazon is doing e-commerce business. Tell me what Flipkart is doing. Uh, Tell me what Flipkart is doing. Flipkart is also doing e-commerce business. Uh, Take ICICI.
Flipkart also.
What, what
Banking
ICICI,
sector.
ICICI is doing banking business, finance
Banking
business or
business.
banking business or finance business. You take Analytics Benchmark. Analytics Benchmark is doing what business here? We are into
Bookstore.
education sector. We are into what? You name any company, that company will do what? Business. Different companies will do different business. Some companies will do e-commerce, some companies will do retail business, healthcare business, banking business, construction business, automobile business, different business. When a company is there, they'll do the business. Online people, please be on mute. When we are doing the business, we'll get the business data. What you'll get? Business data.
Business
Take an
data.
example. When online people, I request please be on mute to avoid the disturbance. So when a company is doing the business, you'll get the business data. I'm telling, right? You tell me Flipkart is doing e-commerce business, right? Tell me what type of business data they'll get. Tell me few examples of business data. They'll get orders related data. Huh? They'll get
Yeah.
returns related data. They'll get customers related data. They'll get products related data. They'll get sales related data, and so on, guys. All this comes under business data, right? Like this, every company will produce business data, guys. You tell me now, ICICI Bank is there. When ICICI is doing banking business, they also get the business data. Tell me what type of business data ICICI will get? They'll get
Customer
savings
data.
account, customer savings account, customers data, credit card data, loans data, insurance data, and so on, guys. Day-to-day transactions data, day-to-day transactions data, and so on. So you tell me Analytics Benchmark, we are into education sector. We are doing what type of business here? Education sector. We also get the business data. What is the business data you'll get for us? The most important business data for us is students data. What data? Students data, staff related data, courses related data, fee related data, and so on, guys. Like this, in any companies that they are doing the business, it will produce lot of business data. When a company is getting the business data, that business data will be stored, guys. Some companies will store the data in the Excel files. Some companies will store the business data in the SQL Server database. Some companies will store the data in the Oracle database. Every company will store their data, guys. You take Amazon, whatever the data they're getting, they'll store it somewhere. You take Flipkart, they'll store the data like this. When a company is there, they'll store the business data somewhere. We call that as data source, guys. Companies will store the business data in where? Some data source. Might be anything. Some companies will store in the cloud. Some companies will store in the on-premise. Now, tell me what are the examples for data source I said? Some companies will store in where I said? Excel. Some companies will store in SQL Server. Some companies will store in MySQL database. Some companies will store in DB2 database and so on, guys. So business data will be stored in some data source. You don't need to bother about what data source. It might be any data source. So once the business data is stored in the data source, what the company need to do is they want to analyze the data. They want to analyze the data. Whatever the data source, business data stored in the data source, they want to do analysis. Let's say Flipkart have a conducted a sale. Flipkart conducted a sale. In that sale, they need to understand. They need to analyze the data. Analyze the data means which products are selling good, which products are selling bad. So that analyzing the data means understanding where we are doing good, where we are doing bad. So company, once the business data is stored in some data source, they want to analyze the data, guys. Why analyzing the data means I said understanding good and bad. Why companies need to analyze the data is companies need to analyze the data to take better business decisions. Companies need to analyze the data to take what? Better business decisions, guys. Let me give few examples about these decisions, analyzing the data. Take an example. Currently, Flipkart is selling 100 products, guys. I want to understand which products are selling good, which products are selling bad. Nothing but analyzing the product data. I want to analyze the product data. Why you need to understand which products are selling good, which products are selling bad is, so the products which are selling good, we want to maintain more stock. You need to maintain more stock. The products which are selling bad, we need to maintain what? Less stock. This is the decision I need to take. Which products I need to have more stock, which products I need to have less stock. So do you think that companies will keep same stock for every product? No. So the products which are moving good, they'll have more stock. Which products are moving bad, they'll have less stock. So what is the problem when they keep same stock for every product? They'll get losses or not? Obviously loss. They are not taking the right decisions. So in order to take better business decisions, what they need to do? They need to analyze the data. Take an example, another example. Currently, ICICI is operating in 1,000 branches, guys. When they're operating in 1,000 branches, they're planning to close 10 branches. Tell me how they will close the 10 branches. Will they randomly pick the 10 branches and close it, or what they'll do? First, they'll take all the data and do what? Analyze. Every branch data they'll analyze. Which branches have more customers, which branches have less customers, where we are doing good, where we are doing bad. They will analyze it. Based on that analysis only, they'll take. First, they want to analyze which branches are doing good, which branches are doing bad. To analyze which branches are doing good or bad, what they need to do? They need to analyze the data. After analyzing the data, they need to go to the branches which are doing bad and they'll pick 10 branches and they'll do what? Close. Here, the decision they need to take is what? The decision need to take is what? Which 10 branches to close. In order to take the decision, what they need to do? Analyze the data. So companies must and should need to analyze the data in order to take what? Better decisions. See, Analytics Benchmark is providing 10 different courses. 10 courses we are providing. Let's say, I want to know which courses I need to spend more promotions, which courses I need to spend less promotions, which courses I need to spend more amount, less amount. First, I need to understand which courses are doing good, which courses are doing bad. Based on that only, I can take some decisions or not. Yes, any company you take is, they need to analyze the data, then only they can take what? Better decisions. If they don't analyze the data, they cannot take the right decisions. Okay, in order to analyze the data, they required something called reports, guys. Companies required reports to analyze the data. Companies required what I'm telling? Reports to what? Analyze the data. Any company which is planning to analyze the data, they require something called reports. Let me show you app.powerby.com. I'm just going to show you how the reports will look like. I'll just show you. Just look at this image, what I'm going to show, how the reports will look like. We will understand. Some sample reports I'll show you. I'm just opening a couple of reports here. This is the reports. This is how the reports will look like. This is one of the report. You guys can see. So this is how the reports will look like. I'm just showing some sample reports to you. This is another report. This is another report. This is how the companies will create the reports. For what purpose? To analyze the data. Like this. This is another report. I'm just showing some sample reports, how they will look like. This is another report. You see, this is another report. Tell me, what is the report name? In this report, what is the title we provided? E-commerce sales report. In this, try to understand the each one we call it as one visual. Visual 1, visual 2, visual 3, visual 4, visual 5. So line chart, column chart, donut chart, scatter chart, map visual. Each one is a visual. All the visuals, card visuals, all the visuals together, we can call it as one report. Companies require this kind of reports to analyze the data, where we are doing good and bad. Let me tell you how the companies will analyze the data using this kind of reports. I'll tell you how the companies will analyze the data using this kind of report. Look at this report and tell me, in this report, you are showing subcategory wise what? What you are showing? Subcategory wise sum of profits. So each subcategory, how much profits it generated. When I share this visual with my company people can understand which subcategories are generating more profits, which subcategories are generating less profits, where we are doing good, where we are doing bad. We can understand this. So tell me, by looking at this visual, which subcategory is generating highest profits here? Which one?
Copies.
Copiers. Which one? Copiers.
Copies.
Which one is generating lowest profits? Tables.
Tablet.
What is the number you see here? Minus 18K, guys. So profit number in the minus is nothing but what? Loss. You can see suppliers bookcases have also negative numbers. The suppliers bookcases tables are generating the losses. By looking at this visual, I understand the suppliers bookcases tables are. When I share this visual with my company people will take some decisions here. What is the one decision? Let's say you are the company owner. What is the one decision you will take by looking at this visual? You will stop selling what? Suppliers, bookcases, and what? Tables. Why you will stop selling them? Loss.
Because
So what is the another decision you might take? You'll concentrate more on what business? Copiers business and phones business. Why you will concentrate more into the copiers business and phones business? They're getting the huge profits. Like this, companies require this kind of visuals or reports. Using that visuals or reports, company people will understand where we are doing good and bad. Based on that, they can take what? Decisions. That's what I written here. Companies required something called what? Reports to analyze the data. This kind of reports are required. I'm just showing you sample reports, how they will look like. This kind of reports we need to create to analyze the data. What is the report name? Revenue opportunities report. This kind of reports we need to create. Okay. Now we got an idea. What is report? How that will help you to what? Analyze the data. Based on that analysis, will take what? Decision. Any company, in order to create the report, they'll perform a complete process called data analysis process. People will think that we'll go and directly create the reports. No, guys. Any company don't directly go and create the reports. Before creating the reports, they'll do a lot of big process. Like first they need to perform ETL, they need to create OLAP database, then they need to create what? Reports. We'll talk about it. So any company which need to create the reports, they need to perform data analysis process. Companies will create reports by performing what process I'm telling? Data analysis process. Companies will create the reports by performing which process? Data analysis process. Now, let me consolidate all these points. You name any company, every company will perform what? Data analysis. Every company will perform data analysis. What is the reason companies will perform data analysis? So every company will perform data analysis. To perform the data analysis, they need to create what? Companies want to create what? Reports. They need reports to do what? Data analysis. Every company need perform data analysis for what purposes? To analyze the data. Every company will perform data analysis to analyze the data. To analyze the data, they require something called reports. Just we'll do one thing. I'll just go to the previous demo notepad. Let me copy paste these points. Uh, you take any company. Uh, every company will perform what? Data analysis. Using data analysis, they'll create what? Reports. Using the reports, they'll analyze what? Data. Using the analysis, they'll take what? Decisions. So companies, in order to take decisions, what they need to do? Analyze the data. In order to analyze the data, what they require? Reports. In order to create reports, what companies will do? Data analysis. That means every company will do what? Data analysis and create what? Reports. Using the reports, companies to analyze the data. Using that analysis, they'll take what? Decisions. That is the point, guys. That is the reason I said that each and every company will perform what? Data analysis. Now, try to understand this data analysis. Data analysis contains how many steps I said? 5 steps. Let's try to understand that 5 steps now. So before I explain this 5 step, let me explain who is data analyst. Who is data analyst? Who is data analyst? The person who do these 5 steps. That person name is what? Data. The person who do this ETL, who create this OLAP database, who create the reports, who share the reports to the clients. That person name is what? Data analyst. Write that point. The person who performs uh, data analysis, who performs data analysis is a data analyst. Is a what? Data analyst. Yes, simple guess. The person who do these 5 steps, that person name is what? Data analyst. Now try to understand one by one. First, we'll try to understand something called what? OLTP. What is OLTP? We'll try to understand. OLTP stands for online transactional processing. This is the full form. I'll tell you why you got the name online transactional processing, all this. So first, let me give the definition. The place where companies stores business data, we call as OLTP. We call as what? OLTP. So another name for business data is transactional data. Business data also call it as what? Transactional data. Raw data or business data or transactional data. So every company, when they're operating, they'll get what? Business data or transactional data. I said that when they're getting the business data or transactional data, it will be stored somewhere, right? Wherever we store the business data, we call it as OLTP. If my company is storing the business data in the SQL server, I can call SQL server as one OLTP. If my company is storing the business data in the Oracle database, we also call Oracle as OLTP. Wherever we store our business data, that we can call it as OLTPs. Because how you got this name is, I'm telling that we store what data here? Wherever we store what? Transactional data. Business data also call it as what? Wherever we store the transactional data in software terminology, they call it as what? Online transactional processing. Because it stores what data? Transactional data. What data? Wherever we store the transactional data, they're calling it as online transactional processing. In short, we call it as what? Don't think much about OLTP. It is just a name. Software people given one name. Wherever we are storing our company's business data or transaction data, in short, we are calling it as OLTP, guys. We call it as what? OLTP. Every company will have one or multiple OLTPs. Every company will have one or what? Multiple OLTPs to store what? To store what? Business data or transactional data. Some companies will have only what? one OLTP. Some companies will have what? Multiple OLTPs. Why multiple OLTPs? What we are trying to tell is some companies will have multiple OLTPs also. What is the reason? What we are telling? What OLTPs will contain? We are telling OLTPs contains business data. We are telling. So some companies will have only single OLTP. Some companies will have multiple OLTPs. We are telling. Why? So see, some you take ICICI Bank. They'll have different data. They'll have savings account data. They'll have credit card data. They might not go and store all the data in single place, right? What they'll do instead, they might store savings account data in SQL Server, credit card data in Oracle. Let's say they're showing savings account data in the SQL Server and credit card data in Oracle. So how many OLTPs they are storing? Two. That's what some companies will store their business data in where? Multiple OLTPs also. This is the place where data analyst work will start. Okay, guys. Now, the point is this OLTPs will be provided to the data analyst. Company will provide this OLTPs to the data analyst, and company will ask to create reports, guys. Ask to create what? Reports. Right, that point? Companies will provide one or multiple OLTPs to the data analyst. One or multiple OLTPs to whom? Data analyst, and ask to create what, guys? Reports. So once company provided this to the data analyst, they'll ask to create the reports for what purpose? To analyze the data and to take what? Decisions. Uh, uh, take the decisions. Understand? Okay, that's fine. Point is, when company provided OLTPs, when they asked to create the reports, data analyst is never supposed to create the reports directly on OLTPs. What is the important point is, make a note. It is never recommended to create the reports directly on OLTPs. It is never recommended to create reports directly on OLTPs. Why, guys? It is never recommended to create reports directly on OLTPs. So what we are trying to tell is it is not useful. OLTPs are not useful for what? Creating the reports. What is the reason? There are many reasons. Tell me few reasons if you know. Raw data. Generally, into the OLTPs, you will get raw data. I'll tell you what is that raw data. Raw data also call it as unstructured data. What data? So there are more scenarios. Into the OLTPs, you will get raw data or unstructured data. What is the another name for raw data? I'll tell you within few minutes what is unstructured data. I'll just tell you in few minutes what is unstructured data, why it is not useful for what? Creating the reports. There are other reasons also. The major reason is raw data or unstructured data will be there here, which is not useful for the creating reports. Okay. Now what data analysts need to do is, now data analysts need to create a new database, need to create a new database called what? OLAP. So uh, who will data analyst will create OLTPs, or OLTPs will be provided by the company? By the company. So OLTPs, data analyst will not create it. Company will provide it. OLAP database is there, right? It will be provided by the company, or data analyst will create it? Data analyst will create it. So what OLAP stands for is, OLAP stands for online analytical processing. OLAP stands for what? Online analytics. I'll tell you how you got this name. Now you are creating a brand new database. It's a new database which are building from the scratch. Now we need to move the data from OLTP database to OLAP database. To move the data from OLTP to OLAP, we required some software called what? ETL, guys. Now to move the data from OLTP to OLAP, to move data from OLTP to OLAP database, we need what software? What software? ETL software. ETL stands for what? Extract, transform, load. ETL stands for extract, transform, load. Okay, we'll talk more about it. Now we are telling that we need to move the data from OLTP to OLAP. That data we need to use it for what? Create the reports. Now what data we need to move from OLTP to OLAP? Does it require to move all the business data? What is there in the OLTP to OLAP is not required to move all the data. You need to move only the data which you need to use for what? Create the reports. The data which you use to create the reports, we call it as data required for analytical data or data required for analysis. Data required for what? OLAP will have only data required for what? Analysis or what? Creating the reports. So here we are telling that OLAP stores analytical data. Data required for analysis is nothing but analytical data. What data? When you store the analytical data, you are storing analytical data here. We call it as what? Online analytical processing. As you store transactional data, we call it as online transactional processing. As you store analytical data, we call it as online analytical processing. In short, we call it as what? OLAP, guys. Now, when it comes to OLAP, OLAP will have the data in the structured format, not the unstructured. It is what? OLAP will be in what format? Structured, guys. Structured. So using OLTP, OLTPs will have the data. See, now you tell me OLAP is getting the data from OL. OLAP is getting the data from where? OLAP is getting the data from OLTP only, right? You are telling that OLTP contains unstructured data. You are telling that OLTP contains unstructured data. But when it comes to OLAP, you are telling it is what? Structured. How this unstructured data got converted to structured? ETL. If you directly get the data from where? OLTP to OLAP. OLAP also get unstructured or not? If you directly get it, it's unstructured. As you are moving the data to what? ETL. ETL stands for extract. Extract what data you required. T stands for what? Transform. Transform is the place where you will convert what? Unstructured to structured. That structured data you will store in where? OLAP. That structured data you will use it for what? Creating the reports. Now I said that OLTP is not useful for creating the reports because of what? And now I am telling that OLAP is best suitable for creating the report. Why? You have structured data. Now let me tell you what is unstructured data, why it is not useful for creating the report with small example. What is structured data? Why we required structured data to create the report? Let me give a small example. I'll just go and open one slide here to explain this. Now look at this. So take this first table as OLTP table. This is how the data will be in the OLTP. Don't think much about it. So generally OLTP will get the data from many number of people. You take an example in the Flipkart website or Amazon website, one customer will place the order or thousands of customers will place the order. Thousands. You will get the data from thousands of, when you are getting the data from into OLTPs, you will get the data from where? Thousands of people. Let's say when I ask many people to write their country name, do you think that everyone write the country name in the same format or different format? Different format. When I ask you to write your address, when they're writing the country name, someone write United States, someone write US, someone write U.S.US.USA. But here all are United States only, but they enter in different format. Whenever you have the data, something like this, we call it as unstructured, guys. What it is? Unstructured. So here, this is how the data generally will be in the OLAP. So you will take the data from OLTP to into what software? ETL software. In the ETL software, you will make it structured. You'll convert US to what? United States. Converting US to United States is nothing but what? Transform. Transform. You'll convert U.S. to what? United States. You'll convert US dot to what? United States. You'll convert USA to what? United States. Everywhere you make it into single format or not? So ETL tools will clean the data, or transform the data. Clean the data or what? Transform the data. That transformed data will be stored in where? OLAP. This is how the data will be in the OLTP. This is how the data will be in the OLAP. We can call this as unstructured. We call this as what? Structured. Structured. Now let's go to the next slide. Now just go to the next slide and see. This is the OLTP. Using OLTP, I'm creating a visual and I'm trying to show, using this table, I created a visual to show country-wise sum of sales. When I show country-wise sum of sales here, when I share this visual with the company people, my company people said this visual is wrong. Tell me guys, what is the reason this visual is wrong? So here, in reality, my company is doing the business in only 2 countries. How many countries? In the country, they want to see only 2 countries. They want to see 2 sales values. Now it is not showing 2 countries. It is showing 7 countries, 7 sales values. How many sales values? The problem is not with the report. The problem is with what? Data. So whenever we need to create the report, if you create the report on this kind of data, the result will be same. Using this result, can I do, and my clients can do analysis? No, they cannot do it. That is the reason we don't create the reports on what? OLTPs. Let's jump into the next slide. This is how the data will be in where? OLAP. You use this OLAP and create same country-wise sales. When I do country-wise sales, it will group all the similar names into one value, and it will sum all the sales values into one value. When you sum these 5 numbers, what is the number you are getting? 1500. It will group these 2 values. When you sum these 2 numbers, how much? 300. You are showing what? Country-wise sales. So when I share this visual with my company people said this visual is correct. We are doing the business in 2 different countries. United States is doing more sales. United Kingdom is doing less sales, right? So that's what, guys. I given a small example. Why OLTP is not useful for what? What is the problem when you go and create the reports directly on OLTP? You don't get the proper results in the reports. That reports are not useful for analysis. First, you need to take the data into the ETL software. We need to clean the data. Clean the data or what? Transform the data. That clean data, transformed data will store in a database called what? OLAP. That data we will use it for what? Creating the reports. You guys tell me, you are seeing this report, right? This report will be created on OLTP or OLAP. You are seeing the report here. It will be created on OLTP or OLAP. Always we will create the reports on OLAP. Fine, guys. Now, what about the information you are seeing in the report? We generally call it as actionable information. Now you are seeing some information in the report, right? We call that information as, we call this information as what? Actionable information. We call it as what? Why we call this information as actionable information? Why we call this as actionable information is when you share this visual with your company people, using the data available in this visual, companies will take what? Decisions. Decisions, another name for decisions are nothing but what? Actions. They will take what? Actions. By using the data available here, as they are taking the actions, we call this as actionable information, right? The data which is there in the reports, the information which you seen in the reports, we call it as what? Actionable information. Now go and see the definition what I given for data analysis, guys. Now you'll get the justification to this definition. What is the definition I provided for data analysis? Data analysis is a what? 5-step process. What is the name for this 5 steps? The name for this 5 steps is what? Data analysis. What it will do? That 5 steps will convert company's business data into what? Action. Where do we have business data? Business data will be stored in where? OLTPs. Where do we have actionable information? Reports. To convert the business data into actionable information, first major step is what? ETL. Second major step is what? Creating OLAP database. Third major step is what? Creating reports. So in the data analysis, even though you have 5 steps, 3 are major steps. Who will provide the OLTPs? Company. Business will provide, company will provide. So this is not a major work for the data analyst. What is the first major work for data analyst? Doing the ETL, cleaning the data. What is the second major work? Storing the data properly. What is the third major work? Create the data reports. And finally, sharing the reports to the client is a easy task. It's a what? Easy task. The 3 major tasks is this. Keep in mind that point, guys. Now, in the last few minutes, almost 40 minutes, we guys understand about what? What is data analysis? Once you understand data analysis, now you are good to start with what? What is Power BI? What is Power BI? We'll try to understand what is Power BI. Now, tell me, which company developed Power BI software? We'll try to learn Power BI software.
Microsoft.
Which Microsoft is the company developed Power BI software. Microsoft is the company developed Power BI software, right? What is the reason Microsoft developed Power BI? For what purpose Microsoft developed Power BI? To perform
To analysis, visualizations, reports,
data analysis. To perform what?
business analysis,
Data analysis, guys.
data analysis.
Microsoft developed Power BI software to perform data analysis. In order to perform these 5 steps, Microsoft understand that for every company, data analysis is important. In order to do this data analysis, why don't we develop one wonderful software? Microsoft developed a wonderful software with the name called Power BI to perform what? These 5 steps, guys. Let's try to understand here. First point you need to understand is Power BI is the name for collection of softwares. Power BI is the name for what? Collection of softwares. Power BI contains multiple softwares in it. Tell me, guys, what are the different softwares available in Power BI? First software available in Power BI is Power BI Desktop. People will think that Power BI is a single software. No, guys. Power BI is the name for what?
Power Query.
Collection of softwares. We'll talk about it. First software is Power BI Desktop. Second software name is Power BI Service. Third software name is Power BI Report
Mobile
Server. Power BI Report Server. The fourth software name is Power BI Mobile, guys. Power BI Mobile. Please be on mute. You'll get an idea. So these are the 4 softwares available in where? Power BI Desktop. Out of the 4 softwares, the most important software is Power BI Desktop, guys. What is the most important software? Power BI Desktop. So even though you have 4 softwares, the major software is Power BI Desktop. We call the Power BI Desktop as a development software. It is used for development, and it's a development software I can write. Power BI developer will work 90% of time in Power BI Desktop only. Tomorrow, you people join this course to learn which software? You people join this course to learn Power BI. To learn what? Power BI. When you learn Power BI, how much time it will take to learn Power BI? My team said it will take 2 months of time. After 2 months, you will become a Power BI data analyst. You'll become a what? When you learn Power BI, you will become a what? Power BI data analyst. Power BI data analyst will work 90% of time in which software? Power BI Desktop. He will do what? Development. Remaining 3 softwares will work for 10% of time only. What is the meaning here? Meaning is Power BI Desktop is a big software. This Power BI Service, Report Server, Power BI Mobile, these 3 softwares are small softwares. What? Small softwares. So, okay, you are telling Power BI Desktop, right? Let me open Power BI Architecture to make you understand much better. I'm just opening Power BI Architecture here. This is the Power BI Architecture. So again, Power BI Desktop, this is Power BI Desktop. This Power BI Desktop internally have 3 more softwares. What are that? Power Query, Power Pivot, Power View. This Power Query, Power Pivot, Power Views are available in where? Power BI Desktop. Write that point. Power BI Desktop again internally contains how many softwares? 3. What is the first software? Power Query. Second software? Power Pivot. Concentrate. Power Pivot. What is the third software? Power View. What is the third software you have there? Power View. So I listed all the softwares available in Power BI. You guys need to use these softwares, what I listed here. Using these softwares, you need to perform what? The complete data analysis, guys. You need to perform the complete data analysis. Tell me, who will provide this OLTPs to the Power BI data analyst? After you learn Power BI, within 2 months, you will become a Power BI data analyst. You will go and join in one company. You'll join in the company or not? So nowadays, most of the companies are doing the data analysis using which software? Power BI, guys. Believe me, lot of companies are doing the data analysis nowadays using Power BI. Okay, once you learn the Power BI, one of the company will hire you. So who will provide this OLTPs to the Power BI data analyst? Company. You don't need to do anything. Okay, once company provided, what is the first step Power BI data analyst need to do? ETL. He need to do the ETL in which software? Power BI. Power BI have many softwares here, right? In which specific software you will do ETL, you need to know. Which specific software you will do?
Power Query.
Power Query. You can write here, Power Query is an ETL software here. Power Query is an ETL software. If you look at this architecture slide, this Power BI architecture slide clearly telling that Power Query is what software? ETL. So generally, Power Query will connect to wherever companies are storing the data, we can call it as OLTPs or data sources. Whenever you see OLTPs, whenever you see data source, both are same. That is the place where companies will store their business data. If my company is storing the business data in the SQL server, I can call the SQL server either as OLTP, I can call it as what? Data source. So Power Query will connect to the data source and extract the data. In Power Query, it will transform the data or clean the data. Clean data will be loaded into where? Loaded into where? Power Pivot. Power Pivot. Okay, guys, we understand Power Query will do ETL. Okay, after doing the ETL, what is the next work Power BI data analyst need to do? Create OLAP database. So we need to create OLAP database in Power BI. As there are many software, you need to know which software you'll use. Which software? Power Pivot. Power Pivot is a database. How SQL Server is one database here. How Oracle is one database. Power Pivot is also what? One database. How you will store the data in the SQL Server in the form of tables. How you will store the data in Oracle in the form of tables. Power Pivot also stores data in the form of what? Tables. You extract the tables, right? You transform the data in the tables, right? You load the tables. Once you load the tables will be loaded into where? Power Pivot. Power Pivot will store the tables because it's a what? Database. Using the tables, you will design what? OLAP. You will design OLAP. Okay, guys, we understand. ETL will be performed in the Power Query. OLAP database will be created in the Power Pivot. Next step is what? Creating the reports. Where we'll create the reports in Power BI is using what? Power View. Power View is a software which is used to create the reports. Power View is a software which is used to what? Create reports, guys. Once you create the you can see in the architecture slide on the top of Power View, I write what? Creating what? Visual reports. Once I create the visual reports, we will share that visual reports to whom? Clients. Whatever the reports we generated, we need to share that report to the clients, guys. How can we share that reports to the client is? So directly Power BI desktop cannot share the reports directly to the clients. Try to understand. After creating the reports, what is the next step? Share the reports to the clients. Where we will share it is Power BI desktop don't have the capability to share the reports to the clients. In order to share the reports to the clients, we need to publish it to where? Power BI service. From there, we need to share with whom? Clients. Or we need to publish it to where? Power BI report server. From there, we need to share with what? Clients. Directly from Power BI desktop, you cannot share it. Right like this. To share the reports with the clients, either we need to use which software? Power BI service. Whether we need to use which software here? Power BI report. Now you need to get one question here. What is the question you people need to get here? Just tell me. You. No. What is the question you need to get here?
Power BI service and Power BI report server are doing same
Why
thing.
there are two softwares to do the same work? Here, in order to do ETL, we have only what? Power Query. In order to create what? OLAP, we have only what? Power Pivot. In order to create the report, we have only what? Power View. In order to share the reports, why there is Power BI service and report server? Why there are two softwares which are doing the same work? Duplicate, right? So what is the difference is, here one is a cloud. Power BI service is what? Cloud. Second one is on-premise. Second one is what? On-premise. No company will use both of them. Some companies will choose what? Cloud. Some companies will choose what? On-premise. 99% of the companies, they are using cloud now. For what purpose? Sharing the reports to the clients. 1% of the companies, they're using what? On-premise. What is the meaning is, after developing the report in the Power BI desktop, most of the companies will publish it. Publish means move. Most of the companies will move to where? Power BI service and share the report to whom? Clients, guys. Cloud, write that point. Power BI service is a Azure cloud-based software which is used to share what? Reports to the client. How much percentage I said? Yes. How much percentage I said? 99%. What I said about Power BI report server? It's a on-premise software which is used to what? Share reports to the clients. How much percentage I said here? Only 1%. Okay, guys. Now try to understand. In Power BI Desktop, we created a report. We publish the report to the Power BI service. From there, we share the report to what? Client, right? Once you share the report to the client, how the client can check the report? Compare like this. I send an email to you. When I send an email to you, where are the places you can check the email? Some people will check the email by using their laptop. Some people will check their email by using what? Desktop. Some people will check the email using what? Mobile. In the same way, when we share the reports to the clients, clients also can check them in where? Laptops, desktops, and what? Mobiles. In order to check the report in the mobile, they require a mobile app. What they required? If you want to check anything in the mobile phone, you require a mobile app or not? If you want to see YouTube in the mobile, you will install YouTube app. If you want to check Gmails, you will install Gmail app. In order to check the reports, you need to install one mobile app. What is the mobile app here? Power BI Mobile. What is the mobile app name? When you go to Play Store or App Store, when you search with the name Power BI Mobile, you'll find one mobile application. Power BI Mobile, it's a what? It's a mobile app which is used for what purpose? Mobile app which is used to what? Reports in where? Either mobiles or tabs or iPads. Microsoft developed the mobile app for iOS. They develop mobile app for Android, and they also develop mobile app for Windows. Which mobile client is using, they will install it. See, tell me who will install this mobile app, developers or clients? Developers or clients? Clients. So these are the different softwares available in Power BI, guys. So using these softwares, am I able to do these 5 steps? Yes or no? Yes. Where you will do, who will provide OLTPs? Company. Where we do ETL? Power Query. Where we will create OLAP? Power Pivot. Where you will create reports? Power View. How you will share the reports to the client? Mostly using Power BI service. That is about what is, if someone asks you what is Power BI, the best definition is Power BI is the name for what? Collection of softwares which are used to perform data analysis. To perform what? This is the right definition for data. Power BI is the name for a collection of softwares. That softwares are used for what? Performing the data analysis, right? Yes, right, guys. Now, by this time we completed what is data analysis. We understand almost 40 minutes, and another around 20 minutes we understand about what? Power BI. Now, we will consolidate these 2 points into 1 point. Let me consolidate and explain at a high level. So now we'll try to understand what? How to perform what? Data analysis using Power BI. In the data analysis, first step is what? Data analysis first step is OLTPs. Who will provide it? Companies. Second step is what? ETL. So that in data analysis, second step is ETL. Where you will do ETL in Power BI? Using what software I said? Power Query. I'm just consolidating it, guys. Next step in the data analysis is what? Creating OLAP. Which software? Power Pivot. What is the next step in the data analysis? Create reports. Where you will create reports, I said? Power View. What is the last step after creating the reports? Share reports to whom? Clients. In order to share the reports to the clients, I said that we'll use what software? Power BI service. If you want to become a Power BI developer, if you want to become a Power BI data analyst, what you need to learn is, if you want to become a Power BI data analyst, you need to learn how to do ETL in the Power Query, how to create OLAP database in the Power Pivot, how to create reports in the Power View, how to publish the reports to Power BI service, and how to share them with what? Clients. When you learn this, you can become a what? Power BI data analyst. So we call this complete one as what? We call this complete one as what? So data analysis, how to perform data analysis using Power BI. Okay. Now I'm done with the demo part, technical part. I want to discuss some general points, guys. To become a Power BI data analyst, these general points are important. Don't skip, guys. Don't drop. So these general points are important points to become a Power BI developer. I'll just copy paste it. I'm just going to copy paste it. What are these general points? I'll just copy this. Look at this. These are the some general points you need to aware of to start the course. The first point is when I'm going to start the new batch. New batch is going to start on what date? 5th Jan 2025 Monday. At what time? 9:30 a.m. to see next coming Monday, guys. Coming Monday, we're going to start one batch on 9:30 a.m. to what? 10:30 a.m. If these timings will not work for you, we'll start another batch on what? 25th Jan. Somewhere 25th Jan, we'll start another batch. It might take long, right? So what is this? We write wrong. 25th is Sunday here. So somewhere, okay, I'll tell you this date, guys. This date is somewhat wrong we written. This is January month. So might be somewhere on 19th or I'll tell you this updated date, guys. I'll just update it. Next, once after this batch, another batch after next week, it will start at what time? 7:30 to 8:30 a.m. If you want, you can continue this, or else you can wait for this batch. So this batch roughly will start. This is the January, and this is the festival week. Most probably it will start on what? 21st, guys. On what date? 21st. 21st Jan 2026. It's what day? Is it correct? 21st Jan 2026 Wednesday. Okay, that's fine, guys. So these are the next upcoming two batches. You can choose which batch is suitable for you. You can attend 2 more classes for free. How many classes you can attend for free? 2 more classes. However, you guys attend today's class for free. You people can attend 5th and 6th. January 5th and January 6th classes are free classes again. What I'm going to start in the next 2 free classes is I'll start what? Practicals. Power BI developer work will start in where? Power BI developer work will start in which software? Power BI desktop. Who will provide this data? Company. Our work will start here. In the next class, I'll tell you how to install Power BI desktop software. What we will discuss? How to install which software? Power BI desktop. After you install Power BI desktop, we'll try to understand in Power Query how to do what? ETL. In Power BI desktop, we'll open Power Query. We'll show you how to do ETL practically. Then I'll show you in Power Pivot how to create what? OLAP database. Then I'll show you in Power View how to create what? Visual reports. Then I'll show you how to publish the reports to Power BI service, how to share them with what? Clients. This complete, whatever theoretically I discussed today, you people will learn practically. Practically at a high level, how the Power BI software will work, you will learn in what? Next 2 free classes. When is your continuation to today's class? 5th Jan. Continuation to today's class is on 5th Jan, Monday. You will start the practicals. Now you are going to get one mail. Within few minutes, I'll drop one mail, guys. The mail will contain 4 things. First thing you'll have in the mail is what? The class recording. And also you'll get what? Notepad. If you see, I written a lot of notes in the last 1 hour, right? I'm going to attach this notepad in the mail. You'll get in the mail. You also get introduction class Word document. So every class you'll get this kind of materials, guys. Today's class material is this Power BI introduction. So I'm going to attach this notepad, this Word document. Every class you will get this kind of Word document. You can see when I go on each class, you will get one Word document like this. So along with that, today's mail, one more thing I'll attach is what? course content. What I'm going to cover, that course content I'll attach. This is the content I'm going to cover in the next 2 months of time. What is the duration of this Power BI course? Course duration is how many hours? 60 hours, guys. You can see this PDF contains how many pages totally? 11 pages. We keep the every topic what I listed in the course content. In this 11 pages, I'll discuss with the practical real-time scenarios, guys. So course duration is 60 hours. It will take more than 2 months. I'll take the classes from where? Classes will be from where to where? Monday to Saturday. It will be more than 2 months. Sunday is holiday, right? Daily 1 hour. Daily 1 hour. What is the next batch timings? I said this 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Daily 1 hour you will have the class. It will be from Monday to Saturday. So it will take more than 2 months to cover the 60 hours. What you will learn in the 60 hours? How to perform data analysis using Power BI. Let me tell you, I will not go and walk through the each point available in the course content, but I'll give a high level breakdown. What I'll cover in the 60 hours. What I'll cover in the 60 hours is, first, how to perform data analysis using Power BI. You will learn for 60 hours, more than 2 months. I promise you, after you complete this course, you can keep 3 to 5 years of experience on Power BI comfortably. That level I'll teach it. Now I'll just let me give the breakdown of the 60 hours. In the 60 hours, you will learn this, right? So we know that OLTPs will be provided by the companies. We no need to do anything. What is the first step Power BI developer need to do? He need to do ETL in what software? Power Query, right? You will start learning Power Query for how many hours? 13 hours. What you will learn there? How to perform ETL. While learning Power Query, you will learn one language called M language or mashup language. Okay, try to understand only at a high level. After ETL, what is the next step Power BI developer need to do? He need to create OLAP in where? Power Pivot. Then you will start learning the Power Pivot for how many hours? 17 hours, where you will learn how to create OLAP database. While creating OLAP databases, you will learn what? Data modeling concepts, data warehousing concepts, and you will learn one important language called what? DAX language, guys. DAX language. So next one, after creating OLAP, next step is what? Creating reports. Where you will create reports, I said? Power View. Then you will start learning Power View for how many hours? 17 hours. What you will learn there? How to create the reports. After creating the reports, what is the next one you need to learn? Share reports to the clients using a software called what? Power BI service. You will start learning Power BI service for how many hours? 13 hours. What you will learn there? Azure cloud concepts, admin concepts, and what? Power BI project. In the 60 hours training course, we not only cover the topics available in Power BI. What add-ons you will get is, you also get what? Real-time projects. You in this course, you will do this kind of projects. Let me show you how the projects will look like. I'm just going to show you one of the project, how it will look like. This is how in this project, you are going to take the data from where? SQL Server. And you will do a lot of ETL. There are a lot of requirements to create ETL, and you will create a OLAP database like this. You will load the tables and give the relationship. You will build star schema like this. And then, so we have a lot of requirements in this document. As per the requirements, you will develop this projects, guys. Okay, this kind of projects you will do. Now, before I explain remaining points, I'll explain remaining points. Now, let me tell you who are the people can learn Power BI. Who are the people eligible to learn Power BI? I'll tell you guys. Who are the people eligible is, freshers can learn Power BI. There are a lot of opportunities for what? Freshers. So freshers means who completed their education in the year 2023 or 2024 or 2025, they will be treated as what? Freshers. You can learn and you can try for the job without keeping any experience. So next category of people we will find is career break. Imagine you have completed your graduation between 2017 to 2020 or somewhere here. So when you have, you might have 5, 6, 7 years of gap. So you can learn Power BI. After learning the Power BI, you'll keep 3 to 5 years of experience, guys. This career break people want to keep must and should experience. Based on the gap you have, you need to keep the experience. How you'll get the experience? Some consultancies will provide. There are a lot of consultancies available in outside. They'll provide you. From them, you'll get some experience and you'll try as an experienced person. Not only career break people, career transition. Lot of people who join my course, they will come for career transition. Career transition means already they are working. They are working. Some people are working in IT side already. Some people are working in the non-IT side. So they are planning to switch their career into Power BI. Yes, guys, this is the best tool. So no matter, some people are working in QA side or some reporting tools. They are working on Tableau previously or Excel reporting or MIS reporting, or they are working on ClickView or ClickSense. They're planning to move into where? Power BI. We call them as career transition. Some people are working non-IT side, like admin jobs or healthcare jobs, banking jobs. They are doing some job, but they want to switch into the IT side. This non-IT people want to switch into the IT side using Power BI. This is the best tool, guys. This career transition people also need to learn Power BI and they need to keep experience, guys. These people, this two category of people cannot get the job as a fresher without keeping experience. They need to keep the experience. Okay, when you want to keep the experience, uh, you need to know Power BI developer roles and responsibilities. In this course, I'll clearly discuss when you join in the company as a Power BI developer, what are the different roles and responsibilities you will have. We will discuss it, guys. Every roles and responsibility of a Power BI developer with real-time scenarios will cover. And we will help you in preparing your resume. I'll talk to one-on-one. I'll just get the information that you are a fresher or a career gap person or a career transition person. What is the best way we will prepare the resume? We will cover. And we also provide what? Interview questions and we'll discuss them. And we'll conduct what? Mock interviews, which will help you to go for actual interviews. And one more important point is all the 60 hours recorded sessions we will share with you. After the class, you'll get the class recordings. And also you'll have a what? Dedicated supporting team. When you are practicing, you got some questions. When you got the questions, you can reach out to the support team. They'll help you to clarify your questions. If support team is not able to clarify your questions, you can reach out to me also. Now I'll just go with the questions. What is the common question people will ask is, any prerequisite to learn what? Power BI. You are willing to learn Power BI. Lot of people said that to learn Power BI, first you need to know Excel. Lot of people will think, first you need to know SQL. I can strictly say, even if you don't know Excel, even if you don't know SQL, you can go and learn Power BI. What I written here? No prerequisites in order to learn what? Power BI. Without knowing anything, you are from non-IT background. You don't have any prior computer knowledge. You just join my Power BI course. Within 60 hours, I'll teach Power BI from very basic level to project level. So in order to learn Power BI, no prerequisite. Strictly, I can tell you. Okay, within 60 hours, you comfortably learn Power BI. Do you think that Power BI developer will get once you learn Power BI, only with Power BI, you don't get the job. To get the job on Power BI, one skill mandatory is what? SQL is mandatory. Read this: to get the job on Power BI, what is mandatory? SQL. You go and check all the Power BI jobs. In every Power BI job, you will have what skill mandatorily? SQL. 90% of job postings you'll have in the combination of Power BI plus what? SQL. Some jobs they'll ask Power BI plus SQL plus Excel. Some jobs Power BI plus SQL plus Python. Some jobs Power BI SQL Power Apps, Power BI SQL ADF, Power BI SQL Tableau. I can say ignore this combination for particular time. You just concentrate on this combination. This is the major combination where we have more percentage of jobs. Now the question is, why in every Power BI job they're asking what? SQL. Let's try to understand. So interesting thing is, SQL will not be used anywhere in the Power BI development phase. I don't use SQL to extract the data. I don't use SQL to do ETL in the Power Query. I don't use SQL in Power Pivot to create OLAP database. I don't use SQL in Power View to create the reports. I don't use SQL to publish the reports and share the reports to the clients. Without knowing SQL, you can complete the Power BI project. When you can complete the Power BI project without knowing SQL, then why every Power BI job is asking SQL? Try to understand this point. Even though if you don't know SQL, imagine I don't know SQL. I can happily come and learn what software? Power BI. I can do all these works without knowing SQL. Then why every Power BI job, when you can do every work in Power BI without SQL, then why companies are asking Power BI along with SQL? Tell me if you know. What might be the reason? Online people, if you know, tell me what might be the reason they're asking SQL. Anybody knows?
Easy to customize.
Huh?
Easy to customize.
No,
To
not,
s-
that is
Cleaning
not
the
the
data.
reason. Hmm?
To
to
clean the
save
data.
data.
What is that?
To save the data.
To save the data. No,
To clean the unstructured data.
no. You can clean the unstructured data in the structured format using Power Query easily when compared to SQL. You can do it in the Power Query easily. No, that is not the reason. Fine, guess. Let me tell you what is the reason is, okay, companies generally store the business data in the databases like SQL Server, Oracle, such kind of databases. Most of the companies, 99% of the companies will store their company's business data in some database, guess. Okay, you take the data from database. In Power Query, you do ETL. In Power Pivot, you create OLAP. In Power View, you create visual reports. How can you blindly tell your report is correct? You are moving the data into the 3 different softwares and you are showing it. There is chance you might do a mistake here. There is a chance you might do the mistake in Power Pivot. There is a chance you might do the mistake in Power View. When you do anywhere some mistake, you might be showing the wrong number here. Can I share the wrong numbers to my client? When I share the wrong numbers to the client, they'll take the wrong decisions. Once we create the report, we need to go and check that numbers are correct or not. Check. You created such kind of report, right? This report, you need to go and check whether these numbers are correct or not. In this report, you are telling that how many customers are there? 793 customers are there. How much quantity we sold? 38K. What is the sales amount we received? 2.3. What is the profit amount? 286K. How can you blindly tell these numbers are correct after creating the report? We need to check these numbers are correct or not. How you will check generally is, you'll go to the database. In the databases can understand only one language called what? SQL language. Using the SQL language, we will write what? Queries. That queries will give what? Output. That output you will compare with what? Report output, guys. Try to understand here. SQL stands for structured query language. So it's a language which is commonly used in all the databases. You take all these databases, they will commonly understand what language? SQL. So to develop the reports, we don't require what? SQL. Power BI developer don't require any SQL in order to do the development. But to test the numbers in the report, we need what? SQL. In order to learn SQL, we need to learn any one of these databases. In our training institute, we are teaching what? MySQL, where you will learn all the SQL concepts for 30 hours of time, guys. In order to get the job on Power BI, you guys need to learn Power BI for 60 hours. You guys need to learn SQL for how many hours? 30 hours. If you already know SQL, you people just learn Power BI. If you don't know SQL, I recommend to learn both Power BI and SQL. Nowadays, you people don't get the job with only one skill. So the SQL is one of the important skill to get into the software field. You tell me any job, most of the jobs you require what? SQL. Java developer required SQL. .NET developer required SQL. So data analyst required SQL. Data scientist required SQL. Data engineer required SQL. SQL is such an important skill to get into the software field. To get into where? Software field. So this is all about Power BI. These are my front desk team numbers. If you have any questions about SQL batch or what this, you can reach out to them. Now I'll just start taking the questions, guys. I'm done with my session now. I'll just go with the questions.
So you will
Uh,
teach Power BI and SQL simultaneously or different?
Simultaneously, there is no dependency between Power BI and SQL. Try to understand. You can take both parallelly. Let's say morning you take Power BI, evening you take SQL, or either way is fine. Hmm? So you
So
can do parallelly. There is no dependency.
different timings for both.
Yeah, different timings. Different timings will be there.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. Any other questions, guys? Online people?